Hi, welcome back to Mechanic Garage. We're going to have a go at the Skoda. It's been a while and it's not far off done. It's a bit bright with the sun, a bit warm. Not the ideal day for working on your car. If you're new to the channel, this is my Skoda 120L5, as in 120 being 1200, except it's not anymore, it's a 180. As in it's got an 1800 Rover K series in the back. Makes it great fun. However, it's been off the road a couple of years now with modifications and changes, and all needs a good clean up and sort out. But today's job, I'm going to pull the engine again, because I put a high performance clutch in it and it's a little bit too thick, so the clutch isn't clamping it down. All it's doing is in its compressed state, and it's not nipping it tight enough. So standard clutch, which worked before, it's going back in with a better pressure plate, stronger. You'll see all that when I get it all out. It's not a massive job, a bit more fiddly with the wiring and extra stuff, but we'll get it out and I'll show you what the issues are on the way. As you saw there, it struggled to get up the ramps. I'd say the clutch is okay, thickness wise. It's not worn, it's just too thick for the pressure plate to clamp on. So we're going back to standard, as I say, get the engine pulled out, get that swapped over, hopefully all be done in one video. I've then got the exhaust to sort, because that's the next big thing, and then there's one more thing that I need to sort out, but that won't be in this video. Just a little hint to its rallying heritage. Because the back of this was due to come off anyway, I already knew that. It won't take a lot, because the only things are put in finger tight to make it look less unfinished. So in theory, it should come apart quickly. Because it comes on and off a few times, I made the rear loom removable, because otherwise you got one plumb all of this lot every time. That's it with the back panel off now. You can see a bit more of what's going on. This exhaust is getting changed, although it looks good, sounds good. That there was the Mark 1 version. This one needs sorting. That's too restrictive. Standard MGF manifold, too restrictive. I did get a 6-bolt one off a TF, but I've taken a step further, which I'll go through later in the video. Coolant drains are here. I'll catch it all in a bucket, because it's been replaced a couple of times, so this isn't actually old. Crack them both off. Not a lot of room. And at least I can catch most of it and put it back in, or at least not make a mess. Try and get the other one as well. There we go. Leave that to drain. First job's going to get the exhaust off, which shouldn't be too big a job. This has all been on and off a few times. If you've seen any other videos, you'll have seen that. It got built 3 years ago. 3, maybe more. And it's been a bit self-inflicted work, because the original suspension setup was the standard swing arm, where your wheels attached to the end of a rod and it'll do that in the arch. It's now got the semi-trailing arm on, which means it doesn't do that as much. Handles better and drives better. Got different gear ratio, different diff ratio, sorry, which means I got a bit more top end. It'd be better for cruising. It did then lose the quick acceleration. Well, possibly. I haven't tested it yet because it's been still near bits, but potentially it's lost its quick acceleration, so it needed a bit more power to overcome it. So I did that as well. 135 cams, a bit more horsepower. I'm renowned to literally bolt on 15 horsepower, which isn't a bad increase. 100 quid is quite an increase in power for the money. Yeah, it's changed a lot since it was initially built, and I'm hoping this time it'll be the last one for a while, because I want to use it. There you go, it's out. No oil down them. Right then, this is where the issue comes. See how flat this is? It's almost tucked back. I mean, this is a brand new pressure plate. There's a fully relined friction plate in there. I just think it's way too thick, way too thick, and it's causing this to pull too far in so that it can't release. Because when I put it together, if you've seen on the other videos, there's this mechanism here. It's a slave cylinder for the clutch. Can't see it. There's a push rod here, and when you press the clutch, it moves this. It moves this to release the clutch. I had to extend that rod by 10 millimeters, which suggests to me it ain't right. There it is. I had to make that 10 mil longer. I've still got the old one. I'm going to put it back in, and I really hope that this going back further is going to cure it, because otherwise I ain't got a clue what's going on, because it's just slipping. I mean, as you saw at the beginning, it barely gets itself up the ramps. Get the clutch off. Just release these evenly. See the fingers moving back out now, look. This shows how much it's compressed. Yeah, that's ridiculous. But it's what happens when you start mixing things up. Yeah, that's got hot really, really quick. I mean, that has done no miles, and it's disintegrating. That so it started breaking up. They did give it as a test and say, try it, it may work. No worky. So we go back to standard clutch, because that didn't like it. And it's got quite hot as well. Quite hot very quickly. That's ridiculous. It's done no miles. Has literally been nowhere. This is just on my drive. Testing it and seeing if it'd bed in a bit. Well, the easy answer to that was no, it won't. It won't do. Let's hope it hasn't ruined the flywheel. Or for that matter, the clutch cover, which has got a bit of heat marking on it. This was literally brand new. This has spun around and run quite a bit, but not actually driven. So all I can do, put it together and hope for the best. Got an old clutch alignment tool, which is exactly right, because it's actually a input shaft. That's a bit rusty, but that's an input shaft from old gearbox. So that is exactly replicating what the gearbox will be doing in there. So that's perfectly lined up. Get this back on. See, that's still a long way off. That's still got a lot of compression to go at. This job may not get finished today, because if this is going to be the same and compressed right in, there's no point in fitting it. That's not as flat. It's still fairly flat. It's not as flat. But yeah, that's just literally disintegrated in no time. It's really bad. Yeah, whatever that material was, it wasn't good for that. So it may not have been too far squashed. It may just be I don't know. I'll have a look at this now from the same angle and then compare it against the other picture in the video. That isn't as far in. It's still fairly proud. It was actually, this was level, you've seen in the last picture. So that's got slightly more, whatever you want to call it, brain's gone blank. Slightly more released pressure, and these have come out slightly further. That should take up the 5 or 10 mil on that rod. But all I can do is put it back and test it. But that is no good. I don't know what went on there. Yeah. But this now is ready to go back in. So I'm going to go get a quick coffee and come back. That's better. Run on coffee. Incidentally, if you want to buy us a coffee, link in the description below. Much appreciated. Apparently you can't buy me a beer. I don't know. I'd much prefer a beer, but a coffee will do. Just going to get it back in the car. It's lined up, tightened up. Whilst it's all still lined up, all the ups. Get it back in, get it positioned, and start putting some bolts back. I'll know pretty much straight away whether the clutch is right or not by the position of the release bearing. But it also looks like it's going to rain soon, so I don't want that. Biggest issue with this crane is this here, it catches. This should just slide straight in as long as the angle's right. Because the clutch lines up. There you go. So much easier when you've got the proper tool, or the exact tool being the what do you call it, old input shaft. Get those two bottom bolts in. As I said earlier about the exhaust and that, I'll show you in a bit. Once we get where's it gone? Once I get the subframe back on, I'll show you what's going on with the exhaust. It's very different to where it was, and hopefully, because I found on the dyno it's quite strangled at higher revs, and we put that down to the exhaust. Anything over 5,500 revs, it just doesn't make any more power at all. It's just flatlines completely. And I have got another dyno session coming up soon. Try and work out whether it's actually cured it. Just need to get it on the road first. Excuse me, arse in your face. Right, let's get those tightened up. So those two bolts at the top are a bit awkward. Hopefully this will cure it. The only good thing is, compared to modern cars, it's a straightforward job. You literally pull the back end off and you're there. None of this splitting drive shafts, dropping subframes. 2-day job. It's literally in and out in a few hours. This is the only awkward bit really, because I've got an extra bracket on this side. If you see this part here extended here, so that this can't twist and break it, because the original one I extended out, I managed to shear it off and drop the engine out, which wasn't a great idea, but it was a hell of a launch on the standard clutch. Good 0 to 60 time, apart from snapping the bar, dropping the engine down. It was alright apart from that. Right, let's get this back up here and I can get the crane out of the way because it's always in my face. Because this other side has got a captive plate on the inside, which can be a bit of a nuisance to line up. Although that would appear it's just gone straight in. Yeah. She's in place. It's annoying because all the new bolts are fitted to everything and it looked really nice. They've all gone bloody rusty. I know they do, but it's just annoying really. Alright, she's back in. Just all a little filler plate, it's nuts and bolts all the way around. Wiring, coolant, carbs. Then we can start on the exhaust. I'll show you now actually. That's the bend we had. This was just in my head 3 years ago now, of how to get the exhaust from here to here. And that's how it came up with. It's a bit restrictive. Add to that the standard 120 downpipe. There's quite a bit of weld there. Had a new flexi in. But these holes here, if you can look, you've got the diameter of the hole of the tube, then there's weld. And that's fairly big, especially there. And that restricts your airflow. You can see these are considerably bigger. In fact, they don't look much bigger on camera, but they are considerably bigger and better made, and bigger tubes all the way through. The diameter of these compared to these is similar, but that's a 4 into 2, sorry, 4 into 1, and quite well made inside. I've then got to turn this end round and cut off to point the right direction. The exhaust I've got for it came off a Caterham, and they're renowned for being pretty quick and sounding quite good, so all I need to do is alter where the downpipe points, because it's supposed to come out the outside the engine, turn towards the rear of the car. Well, this is engine's facing the wrong way, so it's 180 out. Turn that the right way around. Mount the Caterham silencer minus the cat, because I don't need that. Across the back. Now that's where it becomes a bit of an issue. It's either inside the engine bay, because there's plenty of room between the engine and the rear panel, or underneath across the back like the rally cars used to have, but it's a little bit low to the ground. Obviously that's a rear panel that came off it, and the rally cars have a vent all the way along there, and it allows the airflow to go through there, get the heat out quicker, and also it's less of a parachute. Doesn't make a massive difference, I guess, but that whole area, the whole rear panel, gets the air scooped behind it and slows you down. Now they are quite difficult to get hold of, not impossible, as I managed to get one. Now okay, yeah, it's a modified panel, but it's a genuine panel that a guy in Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic, manages to replicate the vent, same as the 130 LR. Now there were 3 of us that bought these, 1 from Mark 1 and 2 Mark 2 Estelles, and we think they're the only ones in the country that actually got them. So it'll let the air out a lot quicker, let the heat, and the heat out. So when this is sat there, the idea, because obviously now you've got all that ventilation, but the silencer, I'm going to sit in this gap, there's plenty of room for it, and all the heat will be going straight out through there, as well as it being completely wrapped as well. You have the manifold there as normal, looped round in that angle, and basically one single curl straight through the silencer and out, probably out through there with a hole cut, because I'm trying to reduce the number of bends. So obviously that bendy, straight into a bend through that. The diameter's fine, the diameter's okay. It's just the number of bends and the restriction on it. Now the carburetor side, they're the right size for it. They've been jetted correctly, and custom manifold, Bog Brothers, all made specifically for this car. The exhaust was then a standard 120 manifold, which are mass produced for ease of fitting. They're bolted in 2 sections. I'm hoping that I can actually make a decent exhaust out of it. Maybe lose this altogether. I don't know. I might put that silencer in there. It's the bends that are causing the issues. The diameter's the same on the exit. We'll find out. But for now, I'm gonna get the rest of it back in, because I think it's gonna chuck it down. I can feel spots of rain already. Right, other than coolant, that's it back in. Oh, and exhaust. The clutch I was on about before, through this hole here, you can see it better now. This push rod here, try and hold it there. I had to extend this out. That is a lot shorter. You've got that much free play on it, so that this can go all the way back and isn't held onto that. And as the clutch wears slightly, this will come back and you adjust it up with that. So that is about right. And considerably shorter rod than what was on there before. That was, where is it? This one here, and it's actually more than 10mm longer. I measured it against the original one because I, for some reason, managed to put it somewhere I'd remember where I put it. No intention of keeping it or using it again, but I did. So I'm going to now start her up, run it gently on with the handbrake on, and see if it'll stall. If it stalls or anything else other than slips like a slippy thing, then we're all right. So fingers crossed. That's it. Then I'll put some coolant back in, and then we can sort out the exhaust. It's going to be a bit on the noisy side, but all I'm going to do is test it. Clutch feels all right. See if it'll stall. A bit noisy, like, come on. Yeah. That's what I needed. That's stalling. It's chucking it down. So I reckon rain stops play for today. It's just getting heavier and heavier. So I think for today, that'll do. I've just got the exhaust manifold on. You can just see it there in the picture. There. And it started raining. Problem is I'm going to need to start welding, and I'm not going to be chucking my welder in and out if it starts raining because it's ruining it. So I think for now, that'll do. I shall get some fabrication done, get some brackets made, and work out where I'm going to put this silencer, or if I can even use this silencer. But that's good progress. It's actually stalling. I just put the coolant back in, filtered it, there's no bits in it anyway, and it's all sorted. So it stalls, as you saw, means it's driving properly. I just need to lock off the adjuster on the push rod. I shall do that in a minute, because otherwise I will forget. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully it's a bit more interesting than walking around going, I haven't got any parts recently, I haven't got any parts for anything, I can't do it all. So this one was just get on with it, Mick. Get some work done, because I've got enough to be doing. Thanks very much. Cheers.